Hello and welcome to the Insights and Motivation YouTube podcast. Yes, this is an AI-generated content, but remember, there was a human at the beginning of it creating and curating this material with care and purpose. I request you, dear listener, to step aside from any bias and listen to the message itself. Take the message, not the messenger. That is the key. The same is true for the rest of the playlists and podcasts on this channel, each designed to inspire thought, dialogue, and transformation. Now let me begin the podcast. Symbols and identity markers. Culture-preserving applications of democratic principles. Flags, anthems, national dress, monuments, myths, and shared memories are the symbolic glue of national pride. But symbols are powerful precisely because they carry history, trauma, joy, and aspiration. A democratic classroom should honor symbolic heritage while teaching students how to interpret, curate, and evolve it without erasing minority voices. Below, I map each democratic principle to practical classroom-ready strategies that protect identity and invite critical, respectful engagement. National identity, inclusive heritage, civic symbolism, contested monuments, anthem protocol, cultural representation, decolonizing heritage, memory studies, mythology and education, identity markers. Now 1. Equality and inclusivity in schools. Why symbols matter here. Inequality hides in which symbols appear on the walls, whose heroes get chapters, and what attire is called proper. Cultural lenses, examples. Multinational states, one language or flag dominates. Regional emblems remain invisible. Indigenous and tribal nations, regalia and motifs historically suppressed. Diaspora communities, hybrid symbols, dual flags, mixed dress are stigmatized. Religious minorities, festivals, and icons underrepresented in public displays. Practical cultivation, symbol parity plan, display multiple emblems, national, regional, indigenous, diaspora, on a rotating schedule. Dress respect, celebrate voluntary national ethnic dress days, never penalize non-participation. Hero mosaics, for every national hero, foreground local, women, indigenous, and marginalized figures. Caption equity, every displayed symbol gets a plain language caption explaining origin and meaning. Hammer 2, freedom and rights. Why symbols matter here. Students must be free to express identity through symbols and free to abstain. Cultural lenses, compelled patriotism versus conscience rights, e.g. anthem participation, personal faith symbols versus secular spaces. Practical cultivation, choice with dignity, provide respectful alternatives during anthem or pledge, silent standing, reflective posture. Personal symbols policy, allow small, non-disruptive emblems, pins, threads, beads, badges. Creative projects, students design personal crests, flags, linking family values, local ecology, and civic ideals. 3. Rule of law and accountability. Why symbols matter here. Protocols around the flag, anthem, and monuments should be clear, fair, and equal. Practical cultivation. Plain language protocol sheet, how to handle the flag, anthem, and memorial spaces applies to students and staff alike. Anti-vandalism due process. If a symbol is defaced, use restorative justice. Document incident handling transparently. Neutral spaces. Some rooms, exams, counseling remain symbol neutral to ensure comfort for all. Number 4. Participation and representation. Why symbols matter here. Representation means co-curating symbols, not just viewing them. Practical cultivation. Student Heritage Council, seats for regional, linguistic, indigenous, and disability groups to co-decide displays and events. Community co-curation, invite artisans, veterans, elders, historians to co-create exhibits, textiles, music, oral histories. Design sprints. Students prototype inclusive emblems for clubs, house systems using multiple motif traditions. Number 5. Transparency and truthfulness. Why symbols matter here. Openness about controversies, origin stories, and builds trust. Practical cultivation. Label the history. If a monument is contested, say so. Include multiple viewpoints on a small panel or QR code essay. Funding disclosure. Post how cultural events are funded. Ensure balanced budgets across groups. Syllabus clarity. Which heroes, legends, and holidays are taught and why, published each term. Number 6. Deliberation and dialogue. Why symbols matter here. Symbols trigger emotion. Dialogue needs careful scaffolding. Practical cultivation. Story then source. Start with personal or community stories about a symbol, then analyze documents, art, and law. Sentence frames for respect. This emblem means in my family. I'm curious how it's seen in tradition. Gallery walks. Students rotate through symbol stations, leaving questions, appreciations, and cautions on sticky notes. Mythology labs compare a nation's founding myth with another culture's, extract shared themes, justice, sacrifice, harmony. 7. Checks, balances, and power sharing. Why symbols matter here. The power to define symbols must not rest with a single group. Practical cultivation, rotation of curatorship, different student groups lead monthly displays and assemblies. Peer review of displays. Every exhibit passes 2 lenses, accuracy and inclusivity, before installation. Whose wall time? Publish a calendar of display slots, track parity across cultures, regions. 8. Civic education and awareness. Why symbols matter here. Understanding symbols is civic literacy, flags, seals, currency, anthem, memorial days. Practical cultivation, protocol purpose, teach how to respect symbols and why they exist, unity, memory, aspiration. Constitutional link, connect emblems to constitutional values, liberty, equality, justice, dignity. Public speaking, students present symbol explainers to local councils, museums, or community centers. 9. Social justice and equity, why symbols matter here. Many symbols were created in eras of exclusion. Equity was context and repair. Practical cultivation, counter-monument projects, temporary student art that adds missing narratives near existing monuments. Honor overlooked heroes, annual awards or scholarships named after marginalized figures. Dress accessibility, ensure sensory-friendly and modesty-respecting options for ceremonial attire. Attached, tomorrow morning, micro-practices. Fast wins. Add captions under every displayed symbol, origin, meaning, inclusive note. Begin homeroom with a symbol minute. One student shares the story of a family emblem, motif, or song. Convert anthem time into anthem plus reflection, 10-second pause to recall a civic value. Create a shared memory wall with postcards from students' regions and diaspora communities. Update one display today, add one woman, one regional, one indigenous hero. Minimal policy kit, 1 to 2 pages, plain language. 1. Symbol protocol and conscience rights. Respectful options during anthem pledge. 2. Inclusive display charter, rotation, parity metrics, caption standards. 3. Heritage event funding rules, transparent, balanced budgets. 4. Contested history guidelines, multi-voice labels, restorative responses. 5. Voluntary dress and accessibility policy, choice, comfort, disability, inclusion. Assessment and accountability, simple metrics. Display parity index, percent of wall, floor space, and calendar slots by culture, region/gender, disability. Anthem participation climate, survey on comfort plus respect for conscience rights. Diversity of heroes taught, count by region, gender, community, era. Community co-curation rate, heck of exhibits co-produced with elders, artisans/historians. Incident reduction, fewer symbol-related conflicts after policy rollout. Culture-specific adaptation examples, use, modify. India, including Vedic and plural heritages, intelligible globally. Flag and emblems. Teach the tricolor's meanings alongside Ashoka's Dharma chakra. Law, balance, ethical duty. Pair with regional flags and tribal motifs to show unity and diversity. Anthem and songs. Present the national anthem with regional patriotic songs and folk anthems. Explain lyric geography and languages represented. Vedic symbolism as knowledge system. Ita, cosmic order, connect to ideas of rule of law and environmental ethics. Om and sound symbolism, link to meter, music, and memory techniques. Demonstrate inclusive practice by offering silent reflection options. Itihasa and Purana, Ramayana, Mahabharata, analyze as ethical case studies, Dharma dilemmas, not as dogma, compare with other cultures' epics to spot shared civic virtues, duty, restraint, compassion. Plural icons. Feature Buddhist, Jain, Sikh, Islamic, Christian, and tribal folk heroes side by side. Ashoka, Guru Nanak, Razia Sultan, Nigam Hazrat Mahal, Savitri Bai Phule, Birsa Munda, Ayankali, Akka Mahadevi. National ethnic dress. Voluntary days highlighting sari, salwar, lungi, dhoti, fanek, mekhala, sadorn, kashida, kinori, toda embroidery, etc. with artisan credits and craft histories. Aotearoa, New Zealand, silver fern and koru explained with Maori wakapapa, dual use alongside national flag. Haka as voluntary, taught with context. Japan, Hinamaru and kimono mon lectures on aesthetics and restraint. Students design modern mon for schoolhouses with inclusive motifs. Ghana, West Africa, kente and Adinkra symbols decoded, values like wisdom, unity, resilience. Student posters link Adinkra glyphs to civic virtues. Scotland/UK, saltire, Union Jack, tartans teach layered identities, discuss devolution respectfully. Pipe music as optional performance art. United States, Stars and Stripes plus tribal flags and Juneteenth symbolism, pair MLK, Harriet Tubman with local unsung heroes, conscience rights during pledge. Latin America, Andes and beyond, Whipala Andean, co-displayed with national flags, murals honoring mestizo and indigenous heroes. Middle East and North Africa, calligraphy and geometric motifs as national aesthetics include Christian, Jewish, Yazidi heritage in regional exhibits where relevant. Indigenous North America, regalia and beadwork presented as living traditions, land acknowledgement plaques co-written with tribal councils. Diaspora classrooms, global, dual symbol stations, students pair homeland and host nation emblems, writing bridge narratives, migration, contribution, belonging. Deaf Ho-H communities include sign language flags and icons, assemblies with sign-led sections, videos with captions explaining symbolism. Shash digital era symbols, don't ignore these. Emojis, memes, hashtags, esports logos, avatars, currency designs, stamps, national ID cards. Teach students to read and ethically create digital symbols that represent identity without stereotyping. AI-generated crests and flags. Require co-design with community input, open description of sources, and checks against biased motifs. How nations project themselves globally and how you can guide students. Cultural confidence. Publish student-curated virtual galleries of symbols with multi-voice captions. This is soft power. Exchange programs. Swap symbol boxes, scarves, music, mini-flag stories with partner schools abroad. Global competitions. Submit inclusive logo mascot designs to youth hackathons and UNESCO-style heritage fairs. Did this podcast resonate with you? Are you an educator or a higher authority with the ability to influence educational policy and reform? If so, I encourage you to share this podcast as widely as possible within your connections, and do share and subscribe to this channel. This channel has lots of playlists and educational psychological content with a focus on how to improve all systems of education, corporate culture, and many such topics. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for our next podcast.